Yeah, you're good.
Okay. Okay. So today we're going to go over the 2019 question number 2, number 3 FRQs. All right. The first one here, question number 2. This is a short FRQ. It's a good one because it talks all about elasticity. All right. So elasticity is something you're definitely going to see on the FRQs as usually as like one part of the FRQ. It's not often you see like the whole thing is about elasticity, so this is a good one to do before the exam as a nice review. So to start off, they give you a ton of information up here about elasticity. You have your short-run price elasticity, your long-run price elasticity, you have your cross-price elasticity of demand, and you have your income elasticity of demand. All right? Now to review these formulas and what the coefficients mean, you can check your reference sheet that you guys have. Right on the front page, they have all these formulas, and there's even some information about, what the coefficients mean. All right, so for this particular question, we have 0.85 as the short-run price elasticity of demand. Remember, if it is less than 1, it's going to be inelastic. All right. For the long-run price elasticity, it's 3.2. If it's greater than 1, it's going to be elastic. That's all we care about for the price elasticity of demand or the price elasticity of supply, is whether it's less than 1 or greater than 1. All right? We use absolute value, so the positive or the negative doesn't matter. However, for the other two types of elasticity, the positive and negative do matter. That's actually the only thing that matters. Whether it's more or less than 1 doesn't matter. It's whether it's positive or negative. So for cross-price elasticity of demand, you're comparing two different goods to see their relationship. So if it is negative, it means those two goods are complements of each other. And if it's positive, it means that they are substitutes. So in this case, it's a negative, so that tells us those two goods are complements. And then for income elasticity of demand, you have 0.75, it's positive, right? That's all we care about. So we know that this is going to be a normal good. If it's positive, if it's negative, it's going to be an inferior good. So you want to know all that for the exam. You'll definitely see multiple choice questions about it and different parts of the FRQ about it. All right? An important formula to know is going to be your price elasticity of demand, all right? Your percent change in quantity demanded over percent change in price. And that's going to give you some kind of coefficient. So for part A, that's what you want to be working off of. Right? It tells you that the theater raises movie tickets by 10%. So that would be down here, percent change in price, 10%. They tell you it's the short run somewhere. Yeah, short run right there. So our coefficient is going to be 0.85. So we have 0.85. So you just need to solve for x, right? Whatever number you come up with here, that's your percent change in quantity demanded. You do the math, it's going to come out to be 8.5%. All right, so for A, the answer is 8.5%. And what direction is that going? Is that an increase or a decrease? That's what they mean by what direction. Right, so it's going to be an 8.5% decrease in quantity demanded. Okay? And that works because we know that it's inelastic, which means that your percent change in quantity demanded is going to be less than your percent change in price. When it's elastic, it's going to be the other way. It's going to be opposite. All right, B. Explain why the short-run price elasticity of demand for movie tickets differs from the long-run price elasticity of demand. Well, that has everything to do with finding substitutes. I'll just write it right in there. All right, it gives people more time to find substitutes. And that would make sense too. For like movie tickets, the longer out, the more time possible consumers are going to have to find substitutes. C, what will happen to total revenue from movie ticket sales in the long run if movie ticket prices increase? Explain using the relative percentage changes in price and quantity. All right, so we're switching over to long run here. So you want to identify that, which means that we're going to be working off of this coefficient of 3.2 and the good's elastic. Right? So if the good's elastic, your percent change in quantity demanded is going to be greater than your percent change in price. Okay, which means the total revenue is going to go down. All right, total revenue goes down, decreases, because your percent change in quantity demanded is greater than your percent change in price. The good is elastic in the long run. And that makes sense, right? Remember, if the good is elastic, it's very sensitive to a price change. So if you're increasing the price, your total revenue is going to drop if it's elastic. If it's inelastic, it's not, because your percent change in quantity demanded is less than your percent change in price. The last two I feel like are a little bit, especially this one's pretty easy. Are movie tickets a normal good or inferior good? Explain. Well, if you understand the income elasticity of demand, it's pretty easy. It's a positive number. So it's going to be a normal good, right? Normal, because cross-price elasticity is positive. Right? That's all you need to write. E, given the increase in, that should be income elasticity. Income elasticity is positive. This one's your cross price. Given the increase in the price of movie tickets, what would be the impact on the demand for good X? All right, so let's just say good X is popcorn. It's a little easier to understand. All right, so if the price of movie tickets goes up, are people going to be buying more popcorn or less? Right, they're going to be less movie ticket purchases, there's going to be less people going to the movies, so the demand for popcorn is going to decrease. And they tell you to graph it. They said to illustrate your answer on a graph, pretty simple graph. All you need to draw, your price or quantity, a demand curve, and then label that demand curve, show the shift, the decrease, make sure you label both, and the arrow, and that's all you would need for that part. And if you put the supply curve on here too, that's probably okay, but as long as you show that shift in demand, the decrease in demand, you'll be all right. All right, let me scroll up to the next one.
Do you want two separate ones?
Yeah, you can stop it.